Well, when COVID slammed into our lives last March, everything changed. Life went virtual, and the isolation of pandemic learning hit our kids extremely hard. Well, tonight we drop in on a class where the mental health of students is the biggest assignment. Classrooms once brimming with laughter and lessons and birthday party invites and games were abruptly silenced last March when the coronavirus forced students in front of computer screens.
It is really stressful trying to learn all these things at once and not getting that personal connection between the work and the teacher together.
Experts like Dr. Pate agree.
Is this time away from the classroom, from in-person tactile learning, from socialization, is it detrimental to these students?
It can be in the short term. Right?
He's witnessed this firsthand, and CDC data shows that suicide is now the second leading cause of death for people ages 10 to 24.
I think most people are surprised when I tell them that 2 to 3 times more people die of suicide per year than die by homicide. But yet we hear so much more about, which is a horrible societal issue, but we don't discuss suicide in the same way about as community violence.
I wish I could just time travel before everyone was getting sick and dying.
Even after COVID closed the curtain on life as they knew it, the show went on for these star-studded students at Baltimore City's Empowerment Academy.
They're still performing. They are still doing the work.
Miss Webb's care and creativity mingled to watch over her students, and she wanted to hear from them.
The kids are able to express through those monologues really what's going on. So we heard the real deal.
Nasir, Michael, Leon, and Yashara, they find refuge in their pandemic performances.
So I thought might as well make it funny to make people laugh, cheer them up.
With their teen years as the backdrop, COVID now stars in a reoccurring role. But daily resilience and support keeps these students center stage.
Every single day she gives us a chart, and throughout 1 through 9, and then all of those numbers have emotions on them, and she asks us why we have those emotions so she can see what's going on in our personal lives.
Principal Moore touts herself and staff as by any means necessary leaders.
A lot of educators have advocated for social emotional learning to be more present in curriculum and to be taught to students so that we can really reach them in a different way.
Pre-pandemic, kids experienced mental health challenges, but they skyrocketed after COVID hit. By this fall, the CDC tells WJZ emergency room visits for kids 12 to 17 jumped by nearly a third. ER treatment for the younger ones, ages 5 to 11, rose nearly 25%. Now imagine this. You're not going to school, seeing your friends, doing the things you love, all while anxiety is blanketing you about what's next. Then one of the people you love most in this world is fighting COVID.
At that very moment, I had to be the man of the house and take care of everybody.
A life-defining moment for a teen with football goals.
I didn't want to lose my father. And I had to be there for my mother also because they've been married for such a long time. They didn't want to be apart. They had to sleep in separate rooms and everything.
Connection issues proving deeper than unreliable Wi-Fi.
It's hard not seeing your friends and only seeing through the screen. Sometimes you don't know what they're feeling and how, because they might be putting on a fake smile.
Fake smiles in the face of a brutal reality.
It has been difficult knowing that you possibly won't have the high school experience that you've been wanting to have.
Doctors and educators agree the notably absent socializing makes for a failing grade. It's clear that kids crave the chance to shine again under life's bright lights. And in time, they'll do it, reciting lines from their own scripts of survival. Well, Dr. Pate says the most vulnerable students in marginalized communities are being hit the hardest by this, especially students who have parents with essential jobs. But he and Principal Moore believe that mental health challenges were, of course, a factor before this pandemic, and remote learning is simply highlighting those issues. So if you are struggling, please reach out for help. The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is on your screen. If you don't want to talk to someone, you can use the online chat option or even text HOME to 741-741 if that makes you feel more comfortable. I want to reiterate that this is one group of students, right? This is not how every student out there may feel. Some students are actually thriving from remote learning, and their parents are going to have to make that decision when the time comes. But these students particularly, they fought through what they had to, but they say they do wish things would go back to normal.
I was going to say, we've covered a lot of stories over the past year, but never have we dove in like this. These interviews are raw, they are emotional, they are real. Something else that is real, the digital divide throughout all of this.
That's something else they touched on. The teacher actually told me she wrote grants and did private fundraising to make sure that all the students there at Empowerment Academy had laptops, Chromebooks, and access to the internet, because that was something that they needed to do.
So many low-income households do not have access to computers.
Absolutely.
Nicole, it's a great story. Thank you.